Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a very special Learning with Logan episode. We are here in Toronto, Canada at the Hockey Hall of Fame. We're going to go see what we can learn in there. Let's go take a look.
Yes, that's right. I made the trip from Lewis University to Toronto, Canada to cross an item off my bucket list, the Hockey Hall of Fame. Built in 1885, Brookfield Place has been the home to the Hockey Hall of Fame since it moved there in 1993. The 60,000 square foot building is home to 15 different exhibits, where museum goers can see memorabilia and equipment used by some of the most recognizable names in hockey, as well as the king of all sports trophies, Lord Stanley's Cup. The Hall of Fame is home to two of the three current versions of the Stanley Cup. The original cup that was made in 1892, dubbed the Dominion Hockey Challenge Cup, was purchased and donated by Lord Stanley himself. It is now on display right here in Lord Stanley's vault, alongside all the retired rings from the Stanley Cup inside the Hall of Fame. Moving outside from the vault, we find ourselves in the world-famous Great Hall. This is the proverbial home for the Stanley Cup when it's not on the road with a winning team. It also houses other trophies like the Conn Smythe. This one's given out to the MVP of the NHL playoffs, with the most recent winner being Cale Makar in 2022. Quite possibly the coolest part of the whole museum is where you can see the names of all the Hall of Fame inducted players, coaches, general managers, and officials. Currently, there are 292 players, 113 team builders, and 16 on-ice officials that have been inducted. The largest exhibit at the Hall of Fame is the Legends of Hockey Room. This exhibit pays tribute to some of the greats of the game from both the past and the present. Jerome Iginla is one of those players. Iginla was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a part of the class of 2020. He played over 1,500 games in the NHL, netting 625 goals and 675 assists. One of the hometown legends in the Legends of Hockey Room is Chris Chelios. Chelly finished his Hall of Fame career as the league leader in games played by a defenseman with 1,651. He also tallied 948 total points over his career. Now, it wouldn't be the Hall of Fame if we didn't talk about the greatest to ever do it, Wayne Gretzky. There is a lot of 99 memorabilia around the hall, but the coolest thing of Gretzky's is the actual net that he scored his 802nd goal on to break the scoring record and solidify him as the greatest of all time. Now moving from one of the greatest players of all time to one of the greatest teams of all time, the Montreal Canadiens. The Hall of Fame houses a 2-scale replica of the Montreal Forum Canadiens locker room. This is where the Canadiens would win 23 Stanley Cup championships between 1924 and 1996. They've won more cups than any other NHL franchise and are considered to be the most historic franchise in all of hockey. The Hall of Fame also has various interactive exhibits, one of which is a full-scale TSN set, which is Canada's premier sports broadcasting network. They even let goofballs like me live out the dream of one day being an on-air hockey broadcaster. The last thing that we saw on our trip through the Hall of Fame was the goalie mask exhibit. This exhibit displayed masks from old to new, starting with some of the first masks ever worn in the NHL by goalie Jacques Plante. This exhibit is meant to show how goalie masks have evolved over time. It also puts an emphasis on the personal touch that each goaltender puts on his mask. Overall, I feel like I learned a lot at the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's a must-see for any hockey fan, I can assure you that. I'm looking forward to my next opportunity to swing by.
Hey, that was the Hockey Hall of Fame. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Learning with Logan. Hopefully you learned something. I know I did. I had a lot of fun in there checking it out. If you get the chance, come and check it out in Toronto. It's the NHL Hockey Hall of Fame. It's a lot of fun. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.